shelter for the storm. Thunder and the lightning can be very frightening, but God is in control. Anchor for the soul, shelter for the soul. Manna in the morning, blessings overflowing, leading us to home. This world's not my home, just a passing through. Through this life I wander, treasure stored up yonder, somewhere beyond the blue. On my way I learn, through each path I take. Every day I'm growing, on my way I'm knowing heaven's worth the wait. Anchor for the soul, shelter for the storm. Thunder and the lightning can be very frightening. God is in control, He is in control. Anchor for the soul, shelter from the storm. Manna in the morning, blessings overflowing, leading us to home. When the day is gone, when my journey ends, won't be nothing better than to be together with all my faithful friends. We all join in song, gather round the throne. There'll be no more sorrow someday when tomorrow heaven is our home. Anchor for the soul, shelter from the storm. Thunder and the lightning can be very frightening. God is in control. Anchor for the soul, shelter from the storm. Manna in the morning, blessings overflowing, leading us to home. Manna in the morning, blessings overflowing, leading us to home.
So we've been, I guess, doing a kind of a series of, I guess the older people, or older people.
But you are the oldest.
Yeah, so that, thanks. Because a lot of you don't know me and don't know anything about me, and so Gio had an idea to get us older folks to kind of tell you some stuff about us, so you know a little bit more about who we are. And I haven't had that much of an exciting life. I've had a great life, but it's not. I was never in prison, and I was never, so there's none of that. But
You grew up in New York. That's
I grew up in New York.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So here, I was born in 1956
Let's go.
on Long Island to an Italian-American family. I have an older sister and a younger brother. I played Little League Baseball and tried other organized sports, but wasn't really any good at them. I was a C student in school, but always did well in art class. And just some real quick little stories about me, just maybe make up a... I was walking home from school one day, and I saw a dime on the ground, and like that's worth like $5 now. I mean, this is in the 60s, you know, so, well, yeah, early 60s. So I didn't pick it up, and when I got home, we were eating dinner, and I said, hey, you know, I saw a dime on the ground. My father said, where is it? I said, it wasn't mine. That's why I didn't pick it up. And he said, you know, when you see money on the ground, you pick it up. But I had a sense of, you know, not taking something that wasn't mine. Still to this day. One more little story. You know, I am a creative thinker. You know they talk about the two sides of your brain, right? And I usually get vocabulary words in third grade, and I did homework with Billy St. Angelo, and we had to put them in a sentence. He could always spell the words, but I could always think up a cool sentence, which he couldn't. Yeah. So that was the yin and yang of the relationship I had with him, and to this day, that side of my brain is just more active. In high school, I gravitated toward music and played the cello. I had been playing guitar since I was 8 years old. And again, so I had a band in high school, and we were 16, 17 years old, we didn't drive, and we finally got the opportunity to play a school dance. And this was my dream come true. I was, you know, going to be, and I was kind of more or less unknown, you know, in high school, but I was going to be up there playing, and so we had to get the stuff to the school, and so my father offered to drive. Which I was a little leery about. But anyway, so he drove us there. We got all the equipment and so to the school. And I said, okay, Dad, thanks. Well, he helped us carry everything in. And once everything was in, I said, okay, Dad, yeah, all right, bye now. Again, you know, and then he helped us set up, and I'm like, oh, he's really infringing on my moment here. And so I really wanted him to leave. Then, just as we were about to play, one of the amps blew a fuse, and my father says, oh, I think I had that fuse in the car. So he ran and he saved us. And that was just a life lesson, you know, you just can't, you don't know. Anyway, Queens College. I went to Queens College. I was in Flushing, New York for music and anthropology. Jerry Seinfeld went there, Paul Simon went there. I studied ballet too. I studied ballet for a few years because I went out, I dated a girl in high school that was a ballet dancer. And so I did ballet, and I have some pictures.
I want to see Craig and Tights.
All right. After college, I had to figure out something to do. I targeted film production, and I got a job with a company called Creative Ways in Manhattan, and we made animatics. Does anybody know what an animatic is? An animatic is it's an animated form of a commercial that the advertising agency makes before they produce the actual commercial to market test it, to see if the concept is strong enough. Animatics. So I did animatics. I was Catholic. I belonged to the Catholic youth program with all the other, 20-somethings. But I have to say, this group drank more and smoked more and fooled around more than I think the people outside of the church. So, went out to the Hamptons. The Hamptons on Long Island was beach by day, party by night at the club, yeah. And then AIDS happened. And I was fairly germophobic. I didn't even want to shake hands. I mean, so AIDS had an impact on young people back then. I moved into Manhattan, and Manhattan, for me, was a very lonely place. It was for the rich or the poor, and I just couldn't work it. I just ended up very lonely, empty, and a lot of hidden fear and anxiety. But I always gravitated towards Christians. I liked talking about Jesus. So Animatics turned into a full-blown commercial production company, Partners Invest in LA. We shot commercials, and so I had this production company, and it was going well. In 1990 in New York City, I was getting onto the subway, and I don't know, just very heavy I was just filled with, I guess, anxiety. I just worried about everything, really. The business, my wife. So I get on the New York City subway, and there's this sassy blonde girl, and she says to me, "Don't sit there. There's water on that seat." So I said, "Well, that's okay. I have a raincoat on. There's not much water." And I sat down. And she begins to talk to me, and she had these bangs right in her eyes like this, and she then began to talk about God and Jesus. I'm okay with that too. This is great. So we talked, and this is just fell into my lap, this thing, and so then she says, "I'll have my boyfriend call you." And I was like, "Oh man, what a butt kill." So, but he did call me, and I avoided him for months. But finally we got together. Her name was Janie McConnell. I was kind of studying the Bible, and then I went to a New York City church event at Central Park, and unbeknownst to me, a sister that I had, I learned later, this sister had given up on guys in the church. The dating wasn't working out for her. She, at this park event, turned to a friend and said,